The thing that I liked most about Michael Jordan as a player was the fact that I didn't have to try to guard him. If you had a poor defensive scheme, he was going to fill the hoop up until you either figured it out or the game was over and you lost the game. Some of his acrobatic drives to the hoop are just remarkable. You know, he can get past the defense and use a little bit of English off of the glass. The ball drops in.
And on a chilly February night, the city of Chicago hot with anticipation for tonight's marquee game.
To the All-Star Game. Let's meet the starters for the West. At forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance, the standout veteran of the... And now, the starting...
Greetings, everyone, from Chicago, the host of the 1988 All-Star Game. Alongside the terrific Clark Kellogg and our reporter David Aldridge on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this terrific city has produced some greats, and 4 of them playing tonight.
You're exactly right, Kevin. The Windy City, Chicago, has produced Mo Cheeks, Isaiah Thomas, Doc Rivers, and Mark Aguirre, all All-Stars, and I'm sure they've got plenty of family and friends in attendance to enjoy their performance on the court.
Yep, so much to celebrate. And Clark, is there a common thread when you think about a Chicago-type player?
Well, I certainly do believe there's a common thread. When playing outside or outdoors in the Windy City, the perimeter shot can easily get blown off course. So you got to be able to get that thing to the rack and in a straight line fashion. And that's something all Chicago players share in common.
A lot of high flyers, you're right. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside, and Dominic Wilkins with Larry Bird, the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
And an exhibition game with plenty of motivation for these stars nonetheless. For more, let's say hello to David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, I was talking to Larry Bird about his goals for the matchup, and he said, I think our job is to get the ball to Michael Jordan, get him into the game, and get the crowd into the game. So if Bird has anything to do with it, Michael Jordan will be the MVP. And that would be poetic justice this weekend. Guys, back to you.
Especially where we are. Well said, David. Thank you. Jordan Clark, obviously, in front of his hometown crowd. He loves it, and they really love it.
No doubt about it, Kevin. Think about the fans in Chicago. They love basketball. And I can expect, and you can too, a ton of energy, some extra adrenaline anytime Michael touches the ball.
Clark, this city is on fire with Jordan, aren't they? I mean, they love him, and they think about what's to come. My goodness.
Smoking.
Yeah. Clark, you see Larry and Magic together in those Converse ads. They've become really the faces of the NBA.
And, Kevin, I think they've inherited the mantle from the great Dr. J. He's done such a great job representing the league all these years, and certainly he's left it in good hands with those two.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smarts. But you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed, they do. Now, here's Johnson. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
East All-Stars ball.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Here's Jordan. And when the jump shot is fallen for Michael Jordan, what can you do? He is unstoppable. And here's the West with the ball, trailing by 2. And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday. Clark, can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. And so Bird will bring it up for the East. And he uses the glass on the layup. Jordan's got 10 points in the game. And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
The Tennessee Volunteers should be here.
Boy, that is awesome defense, guys, against a capable finisher. Well done. I'm sure the coaches love that.
The East All-Stars tack on 2 more. And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
So the timeout taken here, the first for the West All-Stars.
Got to halt this run now, right here, right now, and maybe devise a new strategy here.
And some changes here for the East. Doherty's checked in for Malone. Ewing comes in for Larry Bird. And it's Rivers in for Isaiah Thomas. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Olajuwon. Worthy comes in for Karl Malone. McDaniels checked in for English. And it's Drexler in for Lever. And that's a block right there. He swats that ball away with some energy.
Boy, I like the fact that's intimidation right away. Got to show those shooters you're going to be in their face all night long.
And Michael Jordan won the dunk contest last night, and man, was it great. What a thriller. He and Dominique Clark put on a great show, and you could tell they both wanted it so badly. Perhaps the home court advantage gave Michael Jordan Clark the edge.
And there was another winner from last night, and that was Larry Bird, taking home the trophy in the three-point shootout. And he didn't even need to take off his warm-ups to handle his business.
Clark, somebody told me he looked at the rest of the competitors and said, okay, who's going to be in second place here? Who's going to finish behind me?
Sounds just like him.
Clark, and amidst this all-star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
Michael Jordan showing the explosiveness that won in the dunk contest last night. And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right. Wow. Terrific assist, a nice finish, solid play all around. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
And so it's the East.
22, the West.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home the win and the MVP hardware.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star game.
They've got Bird, Rivers out there with Jordan. Then it's Ewing, and it's Wilkins in at the 3 slot. So that's who the East All-Stars start the second with. Drexler scanning the floor. Pass to Olajuwon. And Ewing sends it back.
Boy, Ewing using that size to make an impact on D. He loves coming up with the rejections.
The vision of Larry Bird is not to be overlooked.
Hey, it's as plain as pound cake. Keep it simple. They want to see how big this league can get.
Johnson, a wide open look, hits the jumper in space. Johnson's got his second bucket tonight. How about that? Mike's a terrific friend of yours and mine, and Fratello's Hawks recently moved into first place in the East after the Cavs beat the Celtics. Clark enabling him to become the coach of the East All-Star.
So don't be surprised if the Cavs' Brad Doherty gets extended minutes in his first All-Star appearance. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Good. And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin, and, you know, they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them.
Isaiah Thomas checked in for Doc Rivers. Levers checked in for the West. Aguirre with it. Guarded now by Larry Bird. Yep, that one goes in there.
And the Mavericks' Mark Aguirre actually got married last night. How about that? A big weekend for the DePaul product.
Trying to get open is Bird. And it's Jordan with the jam.
On the drive, MJ is so ferocious, he never even thinks about slowing down. Pedal to the metal.
Johnson, the pass to Malone. Jordan against Johnson, 8 feet away. Again, the West All-Star.
Magic Johnson in his 8th All-Star game now. 2nd in All-Star votes this year. And he hosts his own All-Star game in the summer in L.A. as a fundraiser. And I understand it's quite an event. And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and, you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
And Magic Johnson, Clark, made it clear coming into this game that he wanted the challenge of defending the great Michael Jordan.
He certainly did, and the West as a team will certainly have their work cut out for him trying to slow that guy down.
That is going to be fun to watch. And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
That's a good point.
Stay aggressive. I don't ever like to see teams pump the brakes when they've got the lead. Stay aggressive, attack, a fantastic way to pad your cushion.
Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played, off target at the rim. Here's Aguirre. No good there. So the East All-Stars will take it the other way. Lets it go from the wing. Jordan can't get it to go.
Usually, guys, he's going to knock that one down from there. Proficient at operating in that medium range area. You know, from that far out, Aguirre pretty much automatic.
Johnson against Jordan. 59 seconds left in the first half. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
First personal foul.
The East All-Stars shooting their first free throws of the game. And the first one drops.
You know, the separator with Jordan from other guys is his drive. That's obvious in my mind. He wants to win more than most anybody else out there on the floor.
Here's what the East is going with right now. Doherty, he's checked in for Ewing. McHale comes in for Larry Bird. Ainge is checked in for Dominique Wilkins. And it's Rivers in for Thomas. And Kareem looking to set the career record for all-star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you got to love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
Yeah, a good one. Second shot opportunity, and there's Michael Jordan, the assist by Ainge. Jordan's got 34.
Not surprising at all to see Jordan piling up points, playing with a lot of determination and grit and insisting on being aggressive looking for his shots.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. English with no one around. Rivers gets the rebound.
Total breakdown from the defense there. I mean, he'll usually take advantage when that's the case.
Ainge kicks to Jordan. With 4 seconds on the clock, draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Pretty good display of strength by Jordan there. Absorbed the contact and still able to nail the shot.
At the line for your East All-Stars, Michael Jordan. At the
Michael Jordan getting it done for the East. He's approaching 40 points for him in the game. He's scoring in just about every way possible. And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
On the floor for the West All-Stars, they've got English. Malone is out there with Olajuwon. Then it's Johnson, and it's Lever in at the shooting guard.
Magic Johnson leads the league in assists, and he's also got the most assists in All-Star Game history. He processes the game at another level.
Michael Jordan now with 42 points, Clark. He has tied the record for scoring in an All-Star game.
A piece of history. Boy, is he special.
And of the players in tonight's All-Star Game, Clark, two have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
And the East with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
Timeout called here. The West All-Stars decide to talk it over.
Totally unacceptable, inexcusable, the number of points they're allowing inside.
Dominique Wilkins is checked in for Rivers.
Dominique Wilkins.
Johnson, the pass to Lever. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. And they pick up 2.
Well, I like Magic doing his work inside. The close range look. Smart play that time by the Magic one.
Thomas finds Wilkins. Now here's Malone. He's defended by Olajuwon. And he lobs it up toward the rim. English with the steal.
You know, there's been talk about adding a 3rd referee to NBA games. The commissioner and the rules committee are in favor of it, and they plan to put it before the board of governors at the next meeting.
Thomas passes to Wilkins, and stolen by Malone. And now the fast break. English with the ball, and it's blocked by Jordan.
With defensive prowess and nearly a 7-foot wingspan, it's a lot harder to get a clean look on Jordan than most guys. Larry Bird had it going last night at the Legends game, trying to fill it up tonight as well.
And Clark, with 3 officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball? They can pick up a lot more, certainly, with more guys out there.
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the 3rd official, but over time it'll smooth itself out. Off the ball, you know, some things you could get away with in the past, maybe not so much with 3 officials out there.
And he's going up for the alley-oop. And there's another turnover by the East.
Boy, that looked like a failure to communicate. You hate unforced errors.
And the East with some changes. Brad Doherty, he's checked in for Malone. Ainge comes in for Dominique Wilkins. And Cheeks is subbed in for Thomas. The West also making some changes. Donaldson, he's checked in for Elijah. And Daniel comes in for English. And it's Drexler in for Lever.
And, you know, most of these guys are accustomed to having their team's offense built around them. It's an adjustment for them now to figure out who's going to get the rock most of the time.
And you think about adjusting, Clark, how about the all-star reserves? Guys that start normally are the stars of their team, now off the bench on a team of stars.
Kevin, excellent point. For players who are used to starting the game, probably a rare experience coming in off the bench and trying to get it going, but I think these guys so enjoy being part of this. That sacrifice is not much at all.
You're exactly right. And it's a new single game record. All-Star Game set right in front of us by Michael Jordan.
Timeout.
What an incredible athlete, Kevin. And it seems whatever he sets his mind to do, he can do it. Impressive.
Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for the West. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West.
West All-Star Scholar. James
Let's take a second look at that fantastic block.
Superb anticipation on that rejection, and that'll allow them to stay on the lead if they keep defending like that.
And here are the East All-Stars. Back to Ainge. He dishes it to Doherty. The East All-Stars check on two more.
And Doherty's so fundamentally sound as a pivot man for the Cavaliers. I mean, he's got excellent footwork, tremendous touch. He's a gifted passer. He's what you want in a center.
The West again cannot hit. Clark, how about the unselfishness of this team?
Love the willingness to make that extra pass, and it has the defense in the scramble mode.
The three from Drexler. Rebound by the East All-Stars. Here's Jordan. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
Hard not to respect how tough Jordan is inside. Really good at angling his body to pick up the foul call.
This is his third trip to the free throw line in the game. The first one falls. Rivers, he's checked in for the East. He's perfect from the line this time. There's 31 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Johnson, the pass to McDaniel. Now, here's Drexler. Pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Clock at 6. Throws it up high. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's Jordan. Lays it up and banks it in. Jordan's got 11 points here in just the second half.
Good for about one per game. Ainge finds his open man easily there.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided.
Your
East All-Stars up on top.
58. The West.
Welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are graped up pretty good.
Moses Malone, he's checked in for the East. Down the stretch here, the East, Clark out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch. Entertaining from both sides.
Woo, it sure has been. They've got Malone. Ainge is out there with Rivers. Then there's Kevin McHale. And it's Jordan in at the small forward spot. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars. That one falls. And in his 8th season in the NBA, James Donaldson making Clark his first All-Star appearance.
And you know, Kevin, before his NBA career, he actually played his first professional season in Italy. So he's taken the path less traveled for sure.
He said, "Arrivederci" to Italy to come to the NBA.
Yes, he did.
Worthy.
And James Worthy here in Clark, his 3rd All-Star game.
Yeah, I was part of the '82 draft when Worthy was the #1 pick out of North Carolina. He can hurt you on the block as well as in transition.
So refresh our memories. He was #1. Where were you taken?
I was number 8, Kevin.
That's right.
Number 8.
That's right. I knew that. I just want you to boast a little bit.
And Commissioner David Stern in the house tonight. Since taking over 4 years ago, he's done a remarkable job helping guide this league to new unprecedented heights.
Exactly. And Moses Malone, Clark, the wily veteran for the Washington Bullets.
And you know, Kevin, his coach Wes Unseld says Malone has really added a level of aggressiveness to the Washington Bullets.
And he brings Clark a championship pedigree to the team.
No doubt.
Worthy with the bucket. One thing the league has done since Commissioner Stern has taken over Clark is really marketing the league around its stars. And I like that type of strategy.
I agree with you, Kevin, wholeheartedly. And what better time to highlight those great stars than tonight? Amazing talent, compelling personalities. The league is certainly on a great trajectory.
It absolutely is. Here's what the East is going with right now. Ewing comes in for Malone. And Cheeks is subbed in for Rivers. Wide open look. McGuire, no good. Michael Jordan on the wing. McGuire covering Ewing. It's good. The assist that time from McHale. Ewing's got his first bucket of the night.
And with Patrick Ewing leading the way, the New York Knicks finally competitive again. The big man has quickly found a rapport with rookie point guard Mark Jackson. They are a team on the rise. Book that.
14 feet away, the East All-Stars check on 2 more.
This is the 4th All-Star game for the Celtics' Kevin McHale. Kids at home will want to learn how to score in the post. Just put the isolated camera on Kevin McHale, please. Moves on top of moves in the paint.
Here's Worthy. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. Jordan against Worthy. Stolen by Drexler. Pass break. Here comes the West. With the teardrop. Jordan against Aguirre. Jordan with the bucket.
Nice work, and they are getting it done at both ends.
And so it's Lever who brings up the ball for the West All-Stars. Tipped away and stolen by Jordan. And it's good, 2 points. Jordan's got 52 points.
And Jordan is simply amazing at finishing through contact. Doesn't matter what you throw at him or who, he finds a way to score.
Some nice passing here by the West. Here's Aguirre on the money with the open jumper.
Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a skilled offensive player.
Here's Ainge. Danny Ainge has developed into an elite marksman.
And Ainge this season has hit a three-pointer in 23 consecutive games. That's an NBA record, and that is his game, making threes.
Driving in, and the dunk by Aguirre.
Well, their play has certainly gone to another level. You just wish they'd made this move sooner.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game. And that one, good. Jordan's got 54 points.
They have shown up at just the right time, putting the finishing touches on this game.
Back to Lever. Outside, Drexler. Worthy trying to break free. And they'll get another chance. Outside, Aguirre. And there's the 3-second call. This one on the defense.
All-Stars ball. Shooting for West All-Stars, James Worthy. At the line for 1.
And he shows the focus there. Nails the technical.
Boy, the poise that Worthy brings to his game, I mean, it's impressive. He keeps his cool even in tough situations, and he always seems to allow the game to come to him.
Johnson surveying the floor. And the Eastern All-Stars deliver. The favorites coming in. Clark, they did not disappoint.
Yeah, you looked at that team on paper, and you saw they were the stronger team and should have been favored, but you still got to go out and prove it, and they did exactly that.
And so much scoring in that lineup for the East. My goodness, look at those names. That's always going to be tough to stop.
And you factor in the raucous crowd,